Alright, let's get out of the way. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment if you like. If you haven't watched the first episode of this, links in the description, go watch it, because there's going to be major spoilers in this video. So in the last episode that we saw in Oshi no Ko, it turns out to be that the mom has passed away. So if you saw the cover and you're like, wow, that's a waifu, I gotta read this shit, well, you're sadly surprised, right? She's gone, she's dead, now you're gonna like this girl. So years have passed and now they're in middle school, but quite frankly, they don't look like middle school, they're anime-aged middle school. So her dream is to be like her mom and become an idol, but then her friends are saying stuff like, you know, only you could be as good as you are with not such a good singing voice. I'm not sure if this bugs everyone, but we already watched the first episode, why is she reintroducing herself? And she's retelling us what happens in the first episode, how she was the girl who died and now she's reincarnated as this girl, and that her mom died and now she's trying to be an idol as well. Even in this video alone, I've said that twice already, which sucks. But when they get into episode 2, she's being annoying because she's saying, I don't have to study for the entrance exams at all. I just have to take the interview and then get in. And her brother's just being honest. It's okay to dream big, but you have to do something else while you're trying to pursue something. So in this case, she has to study for finals because that way she can get into a great academic school. And then Aqua says just more truth. And he says, most of these idols get paid so little that they stop doing it at 30. And on top of that, only 30% make it after graduation, in which most idols just do something different, not idolish. There are so few jobs, he says, where the cost is disproportionate to the return. So basically, so much effort put in, but so little you get back. And she gets mad and she says, what else am I supposed to do, huh? Some people aren't even allowed to do what they want. And well, I do. I should pursue it. And so he says, do what you want. I mean, what is he supposed to say, right? If it were up to me, I wouldn't want you to do it. I'd want you to be something like a lawyer or doctor. And then she gets into the part where she says, things have changed since my mom's died. My brother doesn't seem to smile and doesn't look like he's having fun at all. He's always doing something privately and he doesn't ever talk about it. And I'm thinking, wait, they're teenagers. That's just how life is when you're a teen. And also Strawberry Production has changed. So the husband and the wife are not working together anymore. And I don't think they're married either anymore. So I think she's really happy about that. But now she has to run a company by herself. And on top of all that change, the group that I was in has disbanded and they're no longer a group. Also, Strawberry Production doesn't have any idols anymore. There's no department for that. So now Strawberry Productions only helps internet personalities like YouTubers or social media stars. And she hasn't even thought about representing idols anymore because she knows that's once in a lifetime. It's kind of like winning the lottery, she says. But the good news is that Ruby has signed up to be an idol somewhere else. That's a much better place than Strawberry Productions. So she gets a call from the audition and they say, we'd like to inform you that you did not make it. Now don't feel bad, there are many talented idols that don't make it, but you can try out next year again. We hope to hear from you next year. And she obviously says thank you and then she starts crying her eyes out. I tried so fucking hard. And I'm talking she could probably make a lake with all those tears. And so the lady starts comforting her saying, there's a lot of politics involved in this. So there's no way you can expect your talent to be judged fairly. Not everyone's life is going to come like guys, so it's a challenge. And then we figure out that she wasn't rejected at all. Her brother called as if he was the agency and she got tricked. And he did some sneaky shit. He ended up going to her phone and changing the settings. And not only did he rename the contact information, he blocked the agency's number so she would never get it. And he sent a text through her phone saying that she doesn't want to audition anymore. And I'm thinking, wow, that's so fucked up. And so his, you know what, I don't even know what to call him, friend, father, director, I don't know what he is to him, says, she's a very pretty girl, she could probably make it as an idol. And he says, you don't have to tell me, I know, but I will never let her become an idol, ever. Wow, you must really love your sister. You want her all to yourself. And I hope it stays that way so I can protect her forever. So after all that craziness, the next morning, Ruby's walking down the street and out of nowhere, a company recruiter says, hey, you're cute. Do you want to be an idol? And she gets really excited because she's always wanted to be an idol. So she runs home in excitement. She tells her family that she was scouted by a scouter and said that it's an underground idol group that's going to take her. And she says she's been looking for underground idol agency representation for a very long time. And she remembers her mom was scouted out as well. And she's super, super excited. She can't wait. But that only leads to more awkwardness because they have to say, wait, hold on. Before you even get excited, is this company even real? Have you gone over the terms and contract? Because there's some slimy shit that some companies put in there that they don't want you to see, but they need you to be okay with it. And if you watch this episode, let me know in the comments below, but do you kind of feel like he wasn't really raised by her? So she seems really fond about Ruby because she raised her from a little girl to who she is now. And even though she feels the same as her brother, in which she doesn't want to let Ruby become an idol, but she can't help the fact that she does look a lot like her mom, and she looks and has the skills of an idol already. And then Aqua says, before we can start doing something here, I have to go and investigate. Who is this, Light Yagami? So what he does is pretty creepy, but I guess it's standard there. So one afternoon, he goes over to a girl coming out of a store and says, hey there, you're very cute. Do you want to become an idol? And he shows her the card and says, we're going to have to talk about it at my place. And I think that's pretty creepy. You shouldn't go with just anyone with a card to their place. And also, if he's barely a freshman in high school, then what is she, an elementary school student? So he basically interviews this girl that's from the agency that Ruby wants to join. Starts saying, so what are some pros and what are some cons to the agency you are? Because at this agency, we'll give you double that. And she starts spilling her guts. She just says about how she gets paid a certain amount that's very small sometimes, and she gets paid commissions for every photo she takes of the fan. But she goes to the meet and greet and doesn't get paid, but every photo she gets paid a little bit. That's how she gets paid. Then money is deducted from that because they have to pay for the clothes and the event and all that stuff. And she says some months she doesn't even make $700. And then she says there's some girl there that obviously they're showing favoritism to, and she's saying, I think she might be dating the guy. And then basically she ends up trashing the girl and saying a lot of mean shit about her. And a lot of the girls are ready to quit, and that's why they're scouting girls. The management doesn't care about you, really, and that's how all the girls feel. So that's why she's really excited to join Strawberry Production. So they're not going to take her, it was just a front. Also, after all these rumors that she's saying, he says, I'll never let Ruby join this group. What I could do is expose them for what they really are and put all that shit that's happening online. But then he turns all that drama onto her and says, how about actually starting an idol group and representing them and let the girl who we just interviewed join? And she says, no, I don't do that anymore. Plus, even if I were to do it, I wouldn't hire her because she badmouths her colleagues. So the next day, she looks pretty, she looks great, she looks cute. And she's ready to go to her idol audition. And they say, hold on. Are you serious about this? You know the world that you're about to enter is going to be very harsh, and you might not tell anything and just live a life of misery. And we're not just talking about the money you're going to make. We're also talking about giving up your private life, basically. Also, you'll be stalked like crazy if you get famous. And then she makes a big scene about, I know it already. Just let me go to this fucking thing. I want to be just like mom. And she says, in that case, then don't join that group. I'm going to make a group myself. You can join Strawberry Production. And Strawberry Production hasn't put out a single idol group for 10 years, a whole decade. And now, because she wants to be an idol, well, it's not like she's just any girl. She's a very obviously could make it girl. She's gonna form a whole team. We'll see how it looks. Hopefully, it's better than her own mom's team. So they go through the sign-up process, and she's still pretty mean. She says, all right, sign there, and after that, you basically sell your soul to us. And if you try anything, we're going to sue you. I don't care if you're my daughter. Finally, her brother's okay with it. If it's the mom, sure. Let's go with it. So that night, he goes over to the director's house, which I think is just his father. And since he's still in middle school, he looks fucking old. He doesn't want to be an actor. He wants to just be behind the scenes and edit scripts for this guy. And I don't know how proficient he is. He's barely in middle school, but somehow he can edit real footage. And I'm thinking, why are you letting a middle schooler edit The Boys TV show? I don't know at what age he learned how to proficiently edit for movies, but this is pretty fake. And so his dad basically tells him, since your sister's going to become an idol, how about you become an actor? And he thinks about it, and he remembers how his mom told him, you should be an actor because that's what you love. And I'm going to say, already, he's going to become an actor. I could tell. And being the very protective brother he is, he's going to roll into the same school that Ruby is, except she's going to be in the arts department, and he's going to be in just the academic department. So he says he only wanted to be an actor because he wanted to become so famous he can be around all these popular people, and of course he would be around because he loves idols. And through that, he would get a hair strand or take a DNA sample, and then he finally figure out who the fuck this guy is. Also, he figured out that he doesn't need to be an actor to do this. He just needs to be assistant of big director or something behind the scenes that will lead him to people like that. And basically, he thinks he's not a good actor, and his fake dad decides to say, you're a great actor. You shouldn't give up because if you don't have dreams, then what are you living for? And then we figure out that this guy has been living with his mom for 40 years. He's 40 years old. Leave a comment down below if you think that's kind of strange or it's kind of a loser thing to do. I mean, this guy says a lot of people do it because if you're trying to chase a dream, and it's free at home, why not just do that? And that makes Aqua feel way worse because why would I take advice from a loser like you? Plus, he only wanted to be an actor because his mom was so cool and he also wanted to be cool. But now that she ended up the way she did, he doesn't want to be one anymore. Plus, he thinks he's really awful. And then his fake dad says, you shouldn't be like that. You have things that she didn't have, such as smarts, the production style that you have. Don't sell yourself too short because you're going to be something special one day. So the next day, both Aqua and Ruby are going to the entrance exams. And when Aqua goes inside and takes the exam, they say, you're level 90, this is for school for people with level 40. And he still wants to join because his sister's here. And his sister also takes the exam and she passes it. And he also passes it, but she thought he was also going to join the artsy side of the school because he wanted to be an actor, but he didn't. He ended up choosing the academic side. And you won't guess who's also at the same school. Turns out to be the girl that acted with him when he was a kid. Is also going here and she says, oh wow, I can't believe I met you again. I was waiting for the day that we'd meet so I can tell you how good of an actor you are. And as you know, she wasn't like that back then. And then she says, well, it's gonna be great being in the same class. And he says, well, no, because I'm in the academic side. She can't believe it. Whoa. He's gonna transfer to the artsy side throughout the series? Probably, right? Alright guys, that's the end of this video. Peace.